Okay, good morning. So this is another thought I wanted to record. I was thinking about just recently, Youth Man made a video about his LaScalas and about his crossover for left his left channel speaker. His tweeter was rolling off when he was doing a direct live, a direct room correction. He noticed it. He went through a bunch of troubleshooting in regards to find out what the problem was. And he talked about his 40-year-old LaScalas and the crossover that was still in, everything was still original. And in the past couple years back, I've changed the crossovers in my LaScalas actually twice. So the original crossover I replaced with Bob Kreitz crossover, done a video on that. And then after that, I kind of got this idea about going to ALK engineering, and those crossovers are quite a bit more expensive. He's got three different versions: an economy one, a I don't know what the names are, but three different levels. And one is extreme. The top level is huge. It's got a bunch of different additional capacitance and induction and whatever. I have no idea the engineering on it, but it's extreme is what is titled. I've seen some other videos on it and people love it, but it's very expensive. So I want to do a quick video about my crossovers and kind of do a comparison. So the first thing was I got the Bob Kreitz crossovers. I actually replaced them, a replacement where it actually does a full rebuild, brand new. The Bob Kreitz crossovers are basically a reproduction of the original crossovers, almost exact, with just new capacitors versus the old oil based capacitors from the 70s. At any rate, this is the box that actually came in. Of course, I've unwrapped them. It came with newspaper and plastic, and it was all very nicely wrapped. But a brand new birchwood. It looks wonderful. Crossover, and pretty much it is a carbon copy of the original crossover. And what I did, and I'm going to set this over here, and what I did was just ordered them from his site. Actually, had to send him an email. You may even call him directly, I believe. And he made this a BNK sound. This is a Type AA Alpha Alpha crossover for the particular model I have. So in my LaScala, and that is, it's a LSBR type serial number, and the person who inspected it and tested it from back in the day. But I have an AA, so this is what it looks like, and basically the same inductions, and they replaced with these sonic cap capacitors, but pretty much is exactly what Paul Klipsch had designed for this in the beginning. So it's a replica, a carbon copy, pretty much, on the new board. But then I went and got the ALK, and it's actually in here. So what I'm going to actually do here is take it out really quick. Set my camera here really quick. See if I can take it out. How's that? And so you got the cable, your speaker cable for the tweeter here, and just gonna loosen them really quick. I pre-loosened them, I think, just a bit, a flat tip. Oh, I thought I had. That might be all the way out. Okay, so, okay. here a little tighter than I thought. Let's go with my right hand because I'm right-handed. I can't seem to do anything left-handedly. Okay, how about we pause the video while I do this? Okay, so I've gotten all of the wires kind of loosened. So the first thing is the speaker wire, since it's the loosest, just a regular, I think 12 or 14 gauge speaker wire, and it goes to the input right there. Input 1 and 2, left and right, red and black. So disconnect those two there. So the speaker wire, just lay that aside. Oh, so speaking of which, here's the back, and I mentioned the RLX isolation that I use to decouple the speaker from the floor. So that's that right there. Just want to show it since everything's exposed back here. All right, so let's take this out. Take the speaker wire off. The next in the series, and you'll see the label down here, the woofer. And the woofer just goes to the cabinet. You'll see it linked in right there. And disconnect that. Let's set that out of the way. And the next is the squawker, which is here. That comes off right there. And then last is the tweeter, 1 and 2. And they come off there, and set that over here out of the way. So the crossover is in here. Just when I never have taken this out, and it's kind of a floating thing, but it should just be on. I've got some sticky tape. Let's see if I can do this. Sticky tape and some hook pile tape, or Velcro, as civilians call it. Oh, okay, it looks like I also had a little tape down there too to try to keep it more stable. Slide that out of here, and there you have it. What did I put on here? Some tape on the outside just kind of keep it more stable. It comes with these Velcro pads, and I put some hook pile there. Okay. All right, so let's see. Let's do this. Put my light here. There and there. Oh, sticky. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Give myself a little more light. All right, so here we go. We've got on the right the Bob Kreitz crossover, and like I said, it's pretty much a carbon copy of the original crossover. Put it on a nice new board, and replace the capacitors with the sonic caps. Now I don't have. All right, so when I bought this, I bought them brand new, and I kept the original crossover. And this set was $365, I think, for the pair, one for each speaker. And I bought them, kept the originals as because I just wanted to have them. But then when I went to this is the ALK engineering, and you see much beefier capacitors, much bigger coils, and sort of kind of like the old original inductors there. So the story with this is, because I didn't want to buy the higher price crossovers that were made by so Bob Kreitz is this was done by, God, I can't remember the man's name. I want to say Dan or Dave. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to look that up. But he's here actually Bob is in somewhere Midwest, I think, but ALK, his name actually starts with A. Al. It was Al, actually. Al something. I'm sorry, I don't know. But he's here in Maryland. I'm actually in Virginia. He's in Maryland, so it's pretty close. But at any rate, he actually builds these, design this and build them, and you could get a brand new one, but they were a lot more pricey. I could get this for $365 for a pair, and I think those were more than that for like just the one. But at any rate, what you can do for $99, if you send him your original crossovers, he will take an original crossover he already has and rebuild it with this upgrade and keep your crossover so he can build the next one. So that's what I did. I sent him my originals and he sent me this back. And even though this looks a lot prettier and new and everything, and I've tried them both, and I mean even the size isn't difference, because this was the original crossover on just a piece of plywood. You see, it looks like where he's using birch wood there. But see if I can do this. So visually speaking, yeah, it's a bit of a difference. My lighting is poor here. But they both actually sound quite good. But I've kept in, it just has a little bit more of an edge on the presentation of the speaker. But at any rate, here it is. This is both. So again, after looking at Youth Man's video of late, thinking about the idea of him, because the real reason why I even looked for LaScalas in the first place was because watching his videos way back when he first had the LaScalas on the floor. And I found these LaScalas actually on Craigslist. A guy in Arlington had them. His dad owned them and had them in the family forever. And he needed space in his basement because they're very large. And I bought them from him for $800 a pair. You can't find, it's the lowest price I've seen, and it's kind of a giveaway. And I've had them now for several years and they work great. All I've done is change the crossovers. But anyway, I got two separate sets of crossover here now. I got the Bob Kreitz and I have the ALK Engineering, and they both sound great. I've stuck with the ALK Engineering just because they seem to have a little bit more of an edge and clarity. But I wanted to do this video, and here they are. So there's an option for those of you who either have LaScalas or want to purchase, and you don't want to spend 12 grand for a brand new pair of, LaScalas, and I could never afford that. $800 and a couple $100 for a crossover. I mean, at some point I could probably change out. There is a site that actually sells direct replacement speakers for not even the Eminence, but the actual speaker. I don't know where I found it, but I did find it at one point. Haven't done it. So far, so good. But this is it. The ALK Engineering versus the Bob Kreitz crossover. And there's no way I can tell you. And this is the economy crossover for ALK Engineering. And you send in your old crossover, they send you back one of these upgraded economy crossovers. And I think it was like $99. You really can't beat it for the price. Or you can buy a set of Bob Kreitz originals for $365. But he also too will, if you send him your crossover, he will upgrade that and send it back to you. And that's another cheaper price as well. Maybe that was the $99 one. It's been a while. You need to call Bob or call Al and find out the details, even if they're still selling these guys, because they're a couple of old guys who, probably been doing this since the 70s. And but I love these speakers, and they're huge, 123 pounds a piece. Nearly broke my arm trying to get them down here in the basement, but I've had them here for years, and whenever we downgrade to our empty nest house, I like to think they go with me, but I'm just not sure they will. All right, so that's it. ALK Engineering versus Bob Kreitz Klipsch LaScala Type AA comparison. ALK versus Bob Kreitz. Thanks for watching. Let me put this back together now. Okay, we got everything back together again. just kind of do a quick look here. So let's see if we can focus in here, zoom in here on the bass. So Klipsch balancing network. You got the tweeter, squawker, woofer, focus, input, and then type AA. So again, there's your speakers. Go on the input, the woofer down in the cabinet, the squawker, mid-range right there, and then the tweeter way up front there. At the top. And that's it. That's the whole speaker pretty much. Okay. So I'll put it back in place. Make sure it all still works. See how it sounds. Okay. Put the speaker back together, back over in its spot where it belongs on this RLX, and gonna come over here and turn on the LaPi amp, grab my remote, everything timed out while I was doing all that, turn my receiver back on and put it back to phono because it automatically goes to cable first. Come over and I flip the side B on the Bootsy album, hit start. And let that play. And so I think my default volume is negative 30, I think. And you can see it's very light. So let's get some volume. Gonna lower it down to about negative 15 dB. Here's that. We just put the ALK back together, and so low, the mids, and the high, and you see everything's working fine. Wind me up again with some Bootsy. All right, I can hear a little semblance in there. I don't know. May look at tightening things down again, making sure the polarity. I might have to run all this again, make sure my polarity is good. But yeah, that's it. And the Bob Kreitz is still in the box. I like to have them as a backup. Always good to have a spare. All right. Thanks for watching.